By the time this is over today, you're gonna say scoop technique. He looped to a 4-eye. We had the backer, the end, he was the potential dropper. Okay? Now Jim loved that. When I came to Philadelphia, Jim loved that right here, okay? If you run zone blitz, that ain't the dropper to me. He's a potential dropper. And that's a word that expresses a mentality to him. You gonna drop, yeah, but it better be a damn backup pass before you drop. Don't drop and then run the damn football at you. And I've seen it happen 1,000 times. If you call him the dropper, that's what he thinks he is. If you call him the potential dropper, and it's a word that you don't use in football very much. So it has a tendency to stick with him, to be honest with you. Jim loved it. I remember the first time I told him, he said, "Man, I like that." And he started calling it the potential dropper, okay? But anyways, we had this right here. Well, what happened in the game on what Nick called the loop scoop technique, okay? They slipped us. Now, we had him, the potential dropper, on the line of scrimmage. If you had him back, you could fold him. But to fold him from here ain't near about as easy as it. You can talk about it, but it ain't easy to do. So here's what happened. They run the ball, and they gash us. And the safety makes a tackle right there. Okay? Howard Green, who you've seen a couple times in the film, he's the one that plays with the Jets. He doesn't get, he's behind the block. He can't fold quick enough to make a play for us. And the safety makes a play here. Well, Sunday we were talking after the game. Sunday, Coach Saban says, and I think this will go back to the very first thing, practice in the wind. Coach Saban said to me, "Goddamn, Howard stayed out there. We got 2 of them out the side of it, all that." And I looked at him and I said, "Coach, that's shitty on Howard's part, and it's also shitty on my part, because I have not worked on that." He said, "Well, damn, Pete, you ain't working on everything." I said, "Yeah, I know, Coach, but let me tell you, Howard played at Donaldsonville High School, which happens to be in my recruiting area. Okay? Donaldsonville High School, and it's a successful day when somebody's ass ain't killed. It's a successful day if they ain't something bad happens at school. And also on the practice field, on the game field, those coaches love the game more than I do. I probably wouldn't be working. But when the ball is snapped, it looks like somebody opened up a can of worms. There's people going everywhere. And when they win, they just out-athlete people. They're not worth it. They're poorly coached. He left Donaldsonville High School, and he went over to Southwest Mississippi Junior College, where they play hard, tough football. But they got 2 coaches, maybe 3. Their problem is getting people lined up in the college, not coaching them. Get them lined up to play. They don't practice on Monday. They have a short practice on Tuesday. They have a short practice on Wednesday. They play on Thursday, and they're off the whole weekend. Because they're community colleges, and everybody goes home on the weekend. Dining halls closed. The only people, they got 10 out-of-state guys, and they are eating in a restaurant downtown. 10 of them. So, okay, now he's in his first game at LSU. Who in the hell taught him to loop scoop against a slip defense, a slip blocking scheme, and squeeze that thing back down? I didn't. And I know damn well they didn't teach him in Southwest Missouri Junior College, and I know damn well they didn't teach him in Donaldsonville High School. So that's on me. That's on me. All right, yeah.
So you're looking for a ricochet there?
Yes. Sticking back.
Right.
Okay. So here's what happened. In Nick's practice organization, Coach Saban's practice organization, there's a 10-minute period every day in the middle of practice, about approximately the middle of practice, and they punt every day at that time. He doesn't punt, the punters punt and all that, but punt practice is done during the practice in a 10-minute slot every day. Okay. Every one of my defensive ends were on the punt team. They don't start, most of them, but they on the punt team. None of my defensive tackles were on the punt team. None of them. Okay. So, this is what I call stealing time. So I took that 10-minute period, when all the ends were gone, I took that 10-minute period and I had me a period for tackles. It was a 10-minute coaching period for tackles. And one of the things I worked on was a loop scoop technique. And I would do this. He would work loop scoop and they'd slip lock. And we'd do what you're talking about. We wanted him now to stick foot and come back down. They would tug lock, boom, boom, and we'd wipe it. We'd always wipe it. A loop always wipes a tug, okay? Then we would show pass. And he would now loop and come out here and try to get some type of pressure, but certainly eventual containing. That's what I call eventual containing, okay? All right, so I turned that 10-minute punt period into a 10-minute re-drill for the loop scoop technique. I think Tuesday was my day. And then I turned it, then Wednesday, we would work tom games. And we would do this. Penetrator, zoning, ricochet. Penetrator, flow away, run a heel line. So I turned that 10-minute period into a functional period for the tackles. Now, was that on the practice schedule? No. I had to find a time to work on it. Sometimes you gotta steal time. And it's all about how the head coach has practice organization done. I worked stunt steps and things like that in college when they were punting. Because the two people that are usually not involved in the kicking game are the D-line coach and the O-line coach and the quarterback coach, three people. So they have a specialty period. I'd be working on stunt steps, stance and stunt steps. But in Nick's situation, I worked on. I stole me 10 minutes in the middle of practice. You got to steal time, but I work on things that we talk about here. This, like I say, you'll be by the end of the day today. You're gonna say, well, hell, he can't get all that done. Well, I can too, and I'm gonna get a lot of it done all season. I'm gonna train your damn hands and feet best I can all season. Run that thing for me. Teaching drills. We're talking about stunts and reading. Off-season teaching. Off-season teaching. This right here, four bills. This is an off-season program at LSU. 4 loops. Shuffle, break to the ball, burst to the ball, break down, boom. All right, now, will you back that up and start that over for me right there, please? I want to tell you something, guys. And again, before they start, if you would, I had a coach from a college visit me at the Eagles. The next shot, that one right there. Okay. Okay. We watching this stuff right here, the stunt stuff, the recap. We sitting there, and he said to me, boy, you got some good athletes. I said, yeah, I do. I said, no, we're not very big, but we got good athletes. They're really good, they're quick. We kept watching. He said, boy, you got some athletes. This is grinding on my ass just a little bit because I'm beginning to understand what he says. Okay? So we watched a little bit more and he said, boy, those guys are good athletes. So I stopped the computer and I said, Coach, what is today? He looked at his watch, he said, and I remember like it was yesterday, he said, March 18th. March 18th. I said, this drill right here was filmed March 17th, yesterday. March 17th. I got some good athletes, but they wasn't born knowing how to do that shit. They are better at it than bad athletes would be. But they do all that U-turning and all that stuff because, you know what? We work on it. Now, OTAs begin April, and training camp's July. This is March 17th. That's why they're good at it. And what I'm trying to say to him, no, your guys don't do it because you guys don't work on it. You try to get it done. You just want to say, I got better athletes than you got. And they probably are. But they do that shit because we work on it. Now this is the drill. This is the off-season drill right here. And here's your direction back here. Okay, so go ahead, Coach. U-turn. U-turn. And there's a target there for them too. U-turn that heel line. In-season teaching drills. Okay. That was the off-season stuff. Here's the in-season. Now I start off with focusing on stance and steps. No directions. They're just working their steps. Okay. Now I'm going to add the directions. Same drill, but you're going to see directions. Loop. This is going to be loop U-turn. Right down the heel. Okay? Emphasis on working the heel line. And I heard you talking about it over there a while ago, which is good. And I heard, so you don't want to get, watch Trevor here. He loses relationship with the back on a face technique because he went too deep. Nice face technique by Trevor. But he's up the damn field too far and he lost relationship. Okay? Watch, this is Howard. He's gonna work around and he's gonna get too far up the field. And he loses relationship. Now he can't make the play for us. Okay? That's why we're always working on the heel line, working the heel line. Either running it or not. Here's a drill right here that I really like. I call it hurrahs. And this is an agility drill. I usually do this once a week and I don't major in this drill because it's a bitch. Stance and stunt steps, they're working on ball reaction here. This is going to be two inside gaps. They both jams, okay? Now they got their feet moving, they're going to react to directions. Shuffle. Shuffle. Ground. Up. Now break like hell to the cone. Okay, so don't go any further right there. Now, let me tell you. And this is something that might be interesting to you. With Coach Saban, every Tuesday is conditioned by position. Right? So your conditioning is done by position. And it should be functional. He wants functional condition. Okay? So there's a 5-yard cone. I want him to break 5 yards to that cone. All right, on Tuesday I would do this drill and I would back this cone up 35 or 40 yards. And it became the drill plus a conditioning aspect. That's the way I did condition by position. That was one of the drills I would do in condition by position. That way that we get positional work, but we're also, this is just a 5-yard burst. Okay? All right. First thing we worked off, this is 4 insides. Get off. Second's waving grass. Third is break like hell to the football. Using your arms for your accelerators. Here's the get off phase. Boom. Quickness off the ball. seven technique, ram technique. Okay, nice quick move. Now let me back that one up if you let me show you something, okay? I want to show you this just for a minute. Because I talked about it over there in that 201. Watch this guy, watch this seven technique right here, coach. Here's your arc release. Tackle down. I told you, we work that thing in seven technique. Here's an Olay. This is a nice Olay move by the nose and a good tackle too. So the get off, that's the get off phase. Here's a waving grass. This old boy here is nice. Gets cut off the ground. Nice pursuit. This is a good one right here. Bam, there he is on the ground. There's a reason. I thought grass drill was either get me dirty or piss me off. I never did really understand. It did both. But I know now there's a reason for it. Watch Mike here, this is good. He gets off the ground to make this play. Here he is on the ground. There he is on the tackle. And this is a great one by Trent. And this is a tackle, gets up and makes the tackle. That's a great effort, ain't it, guys? Dang, that's a great effort. Break to the ball. U-turn down the heel line. Break to the ball. Here's the dive option in the nose taking the pitch. He's got an Olay on. They're going to piggyback, split it. I keep this one. This is an old one, but I love the way this boy's running that up there. It's like it's something good to eat he's chasing. Okay. This is, and I'll go through this real quick. This is something I used to do with a 3-4 front. Okay. I had it 3 setups. I ran this station. The linebacker coach ran this station, and the outside linebacker ran this station. We would rotate the nose and the inside linebackers from this station to this station. We'd work the ends from this station to this station, okay? So we had 3 setups, and we worked them on stunts, and we did it every Monday when we were light. When we had a lot, when we were light. But we called it 3-station stunt teaching drill. Okay, go ahead, coach. I won't spend much time on this, but it is a good setup. There's station 1. We got the nose and the 2 inside backers, and here's station 2. We got the inside backer. We got the defensive end, and then station 3 is over here. We got the outside backer, and we got the 5-10. Okay, and we're gonna work all the stunts. Here's slip block. One more time, please. Here's a slip block right here against an Olay stunt. So the linebacker knows now I got to get to the front door, and the linebacker's got to play hard on the cutback. Does that make sense to you? Because I can't keep him off of it. So they're slipping it going this way, and I'm Olaying the back door. All right, here it is in a game. I got to replace because I give up my linebacker. Here's the guard pulling out on a jam technique. Once I read the guard pull out, stick the foot in the ground, U-turn. Here he is in the game. Stick the foot, U-turn. Here's a whatever you want to call it. We call it over switch. We bring it in and we're looping the defensive tackle or the defensive end. Bringing the outside backer, and we're looping this guy right here. In the option, he's got the quarterback. This guy right here's got the dive. This guy right here has got the quarterback. Okay. Then this is another drill that I do. I call this half line stunt drill. I got a nose here. I got him working on the Olay. I got this end right here working ricochet on the zone. The nose is working Olay. he's working on a pull. Nose is gonna work all the way, I think this is pass. Now, he works under, cause we know we got a guy coming off the edge. Okay, so it ain't up but a re-drill is all it is. I call it half-life stunt drill, it's just a re-drill. But I wanna expose him to everything he's gonna get in the ball game on that stunt. I want that stunt technique to be just like, if you go in a game with your 7, but you coach him on what he's gonna get in the game, well, you ought to teach him the same thing with him on the stunt. It's the same thing. You want it, now this is a re-game. This, coach, this will be, you've been wanting to talk about it. This is a re-game teaching drill, okay? You're gonna have to help me on this one. I only got 3 shots. Okay, this is what we call a twist game. Now, he is gonna stab the beat. Go back one time. And this guy is gonna read this. If it's pass, he's gonna come underneath it. If it's run, he's gonna play it. All right, on the next shot, I believe it's the next shot, you're gonna see it executed against pass. Okay? So it turns into a pass rush game on pass. And on a run, that's a pass. Okay? You with me on that? Good. Okay, read games. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. I really like them. This is what we talked about that wing. Coach, you asked that question about that wing a while ago. We bring in this crash 5 here. We reading this guy out with one technique. Alert for contain. Dotted line. Quarterback goes back in the 3 lane. He's gonna route for contain. If it's a run or anything like that, he's just gonna play the ball. Okay? Working on the field. Here's the wing. There's your contain. Here it is in the game. It's going to be a run to him. Under all blocks, makes the play. Now, watch this. Watch this guy who happens to be in a 2 rather than 1. See him outside? Because he's reading the block. He's a reader, he's a penetrator. And when he comes on it, we talk about coming under all blocks. Because he's got a guy working outside. We don't want to have 2 outside, we want to have 1 inside, we want to have 1 outside. Here comes another wing. And here's another instance. That damn Atlanta Falcon tackle right there. He realizes it when I want him to realize it, after the tackle's been made for a loss. Here's a wing versus pass right here. Watch him work outside. Because he's a contained guy if pass occurs. Tom. This is a Tom game. It's a tackle game. We talk about, he's got a face technique. We're going to pick the center's hip. Okay? Now, a while ago, when we talk about a line to success, go back to it one time, please. When we talked about that a while ago, and I showed you one against New York, he thought a big split was here, so he screwed down just a little bit because he knew he had to get that done right there. On the Tom, and you'll see it, if he picks the center, if it's pass, he's going to come around. If it's run, let's say in one of these shots against New York, he's going to pick the center. The center's going to try to work it this way, and Mike's going to make the play right there. Okay, so you'll see it some against pass, and you'll see it some against run. Pre-practice work. All right, now here's a ricochet. He's coming on the face. Watch him whip this center's butt. But we bring him right to his face now. Here, I forget which one this is. Oh, I see. He's going to overlap it. That's a good one. That's a good one right there. Here's your penetrator. Here's your read. Penetrator, read. Good stuff. I tell you when it's good too. I tell you when it's good. Play action pass. Play, you know, downs. Let's say I teams, 2 backs, 2nd, 6. Good call, because you got a chance to get the play action pass, and when you get the play action pass, you've got a penetrator, and it turns into a pass rush game. So it's a good call. I had a boy one time at, you know, the test you have to give the kids, you have to give them, and with Coach Saban, you have to turn your damn test in on Thursday and let him look at it and all that, you know, a pain in the ass, but give them that test, you know, and yeah, the idea was never for me to trick them. I wanted them to know the answers. I don't want them all to make 100 on the test, you know. So I would review it a little bit. And I had a boy in there that was, y'all have seen him. He was a walk-on. He was the best damn kid you ever saw in your life. And he was about this big around. And the kids loved him. I loved him. And he was big on the scout team. He'd be showing blocks, and he was just great. Anyways, I would tell him. I started telling him. I'd say, read game, blah. It's a great call on the 2nd 6 against this team because they're play action pass team, so and so. So Thursday, I would say, I'd be reviewing the test before I give it to them. I'd say, I did this one time early in the season. I said, read game. That's a good call against certain things on certain downs. And his name was Mamuda. I'd say, Mamuda, what is that? He'd say, 2nd and 6, coach. Good time for a read game. That's right. They'd all chuckle. We did it for 3 years, every Thursday. Read game, Mamuda, what? 2nd and 6, coach. 3 damn years he gave the same answer, I'm telling you. But let me tell you, everybody in that room understood read games. And they understood why we were calling them. And they understood it's good against play action pass because it really turns into a pass rush game. Okay? Oh, he was something, boy. I tell you, kids are the best thing in the world. That's a hard guy to tackle right there, being shown too, boy. All right, here it is right here, coach. Here it is. This is where he cheated it over. And watch Mike. If it had been a pass now, of course you know what he'd have done. So they're really good. Here's your penetrator. Now, watch Mike rep this. I think it might be Trev, actually. But watch him rep this. He thinks, see the ball going in one lane? He thinks it's going to be a pass. It's a draw. But the bump makes a good play. The penetrator makes a good play.
Coach, when that read guy gets backside cut off and he overlaps, you're not concerned about losing a gap on the backside against run fit?
We normally got the penetrators don't take that gap.
That's what it would be.
Right. That's why his angle's so important now. You know what? The mistake he made against Green Bay, I was talking about his angle was too flat. That's why he's got to do that for him. And then when they rush the passer, this was a mistake that y'all saw this morning that we made. They rush the passer. The penetrator picks the center, and then that shoulder becomes his. The looper, that shoulder of the quarterback becomes his. So they really change lanes is what they do. And I got it in some film that we'll watch after lunch. But here's a Tom game. And this is a spin tackle at its best here. This is a great spin tackle by Bo. On a pretty decent back. Penetrator. This is the Mike game. Mike Tom. It's a Tom game plus Mike. If you got a big middle linebacker, this is a great stuff.